Welcome to the postcast tonight. Stirring win by the Utah Jazz over the Dallas Mavericks, much needed. Jazz 100, Mavericks 94. Really the characterization of this game, the Jazz came in having lost 8 of 12. Dallas came in having lost 11 of 13. And honestly, for most of the night, it looked like two teams that were exactly like that. Nobody could run away from anyone. No one could make the next step until the final 6 minutes of the game. The Jazz looked like a much better team than the team that had lost 8 of 12. They closed on a 19-8 run, and a bunch of different guys made a lot of big plays.
Yeah, David, it was one of those ball games where you were waiting for and knowing that whoever was going to make the biggest mistakes down the stretch was going to lose the basketball game. And Coach Corbin made a bold move, as you just pointed out, and it worked out for him. But, I think the two teams are evenly matched. We'll see the same style of play, the same kind of basketball game when we go to Dallas there and play.
Well, the Jazz win this one. They win their second game of the year against the Mavericks, and the bold move that was talked about was the move to go to Alec Burks as the point guard for the final 6 minutes of the game, and that's really what created the run for the Jazz. They played with Gordon Hayward and Randy Foye. Millsap and Jefferson were the bigs. And, I'm not sure, Alec Burks didn't make a million plays or anything. Jefferson made a huge shot over Chris Kaman late. And there were a bunch of other guys that made plays, but he conducted himself well. He added a threat, and he got to the free throw line 9 times tonight.
And a threat. As long as you're a threat out there, your defense has to play you a certain way. I mean, when they went over their game plan this morning, they did not go over their game plan to defend or play against Burks or Randy Foye at the guard position. So they had to make some adjustments, and it didn't work. The Jazz came out with a victory. But, David, the Jazz right now are so inconsistent that and a lot of that has to do with playing so many road games, not getting the amount of good, solid practice time that you need in order to compete. But hopefully for the rest of this month, things will start to turn around for them.
Well, you know what? There's some good signs, though. They've played defense much better over the last 5 to 10 games. Tonight was another one. They held Dallas to 14 fourth-quarter points on 5 of 16 shooting in that fourth quarter. So that was a huge step. This team, the real issue, this team was so bad defensively in December. They allowed teams to shoot 48%, 40% from 3. I think they ranked 28th in the NBA defensively. If they didn't start defending, they were going to turn out to be one of the 8-9 worst teams in the NBA. If they defend, the offense will come along with it.
You're absolutely right about that. And how many times can you win a basketball game, you shoot 40%, your opponent shoot 43%? I mean, what we've been used to with this team, with this organization, is the Jazz have always, for years been one of the top 5 in the league in field goal percentage. They don't win basketball games like that anymore. They shoot more three-point shots. They're still getting to the free throw line quite a bit because they do have an inside-out game, but for the most part, they're going to have to win basketball games shooting a lower percentage.
The star of the night has to be Gordon Hayward tonight. Gordon finished with 27 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. He also had 2 blocks. Do you know what the score was at that block shot by Gordon on the Collison block? You said at the time, I wonder if that will spur them along. I'm not sure it directly spurred them along at the moment, but I think it added energy to the night.
From the crowd, anyway. The crowd really got into it after that.
Darren Collison went up for a slam dunk. I don't know if it was Collison or if it was
Collison.
Or Bobois.
One of them.
Yeah. One of their little point guards. Went up for a dunk. Gordon met him there on a fast break, blocked it, and led it the other way. And really, it was probably a highlight of a fabulous night for Gordon. 27 points, 6 rebounds. He handled the ball a lot, leading the pick and rolls with 5 assists in those 2 blocks. He was really special tonight.
Since we're patting him on the back, he didn't have 1 turnover tonight there as well. So
wow,
excellent night there for Gordon Hayward, and his career high was what, 20?
I thought he had 30 in that final game against Denver of his rookie year, which was his career high. But you have those things handy, I believe.
I have it right here. His career high is 34.
34 in the season finale. It was the most by a rookie since Jerry Eves in Jazz history. How's that? However, his next best game, I think, was 26 against Minnesota. So this would be his second best scoring game of his career. And maybe his best game of his career.
Well, it came at a great time. And if the Jazz have to survive like they were able to survive last night, so be it. Because, Paul Millsap can't do it every night. Al Jefferson's not going to be able to do it every night. And so I think if you need anyone to be consistent, especially coming off the bench like he did tonight, and he played 34 minutes, then you need that threat, that guy that's in your scouting report that's a threat to come off the bench and have big nights for you.
Are you still mad about the foul on Favors?
You know, I still don't like that. I mean, this is what you're taught. You know, a guy's trying to come over your back like that, you just keep riding him out. Now, if he did something down there that I couldn't see, then the official, I thought that maybe the official made the right call, but, you know, I didn't see that.
I will say it's a win tonight, and so you want to be all positive. I thought the one thing that was interesting tonight is you watch Favors and Canner, and they're both showing these spurts where you begin to believe they really can go.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got matched up on Dirk Nowitzki and Elton Brand. And it was a pretty clear reminder for a moment of just how much veteran play matters in this league.
Yeah, and hopefully they learned something from that. And I know Dirk upset Derek, but I liked it.
Remember, that goes back.
I like showing some toughness.
Remember, that goes back to Dirk swiping the ball away from Derek a few years ago. So that
was that last year?
That might have been last year when Earl then runs to his defense. So there's a little history in that.
Yeah, but I didn't mind what Dirk did there at all. I mean, you just don't get pushed around and don't get have the reputation of being soft. As I've said to you many, many times, if you're soft in this league, you don't survive.
Well, you know, on that note, and then I will let you get to your TV. We're longer than usual today. But on the soft note, teams had started to come out and try to punk Gordon Hayward. Mm-hmm. And the word had gotten around the league that you could physically overmatch him early in games and he would wilt. Mm-hmm. And he has answered back to that, and that might be as big a step as he's taken in his career.
You know, don't be afraid to throw the first punch. You know, and I'm not saying fight. What I'm saying is don't be afraid to throw the first. If you have to be the physical one, you know, the guy that don't be afraid of that.
Jazz win it nice tonight, 100-94. Can they go get 2 out of 3 on this road trip, come back having played the most road games of any team in the NBA with an above 500 record? That would be big. We'll see if they're able to do it. We'll talk with you next from Charlotte.